What if the greatest collapses in history didn't begin with war, but with a sign no one recognized until it was too late? Every civilization that believed itself permanent eventually met a moment when confidence turned to fragility. Markets froze. Institutions faltered. Social trust evaporated. And afterward, historians searched for the turning point, the signal that appeared before everything shifted. The unsettling question is not whether collapse is possible. It's whether patterns repeat, and whether we are standing inside one right now. Why does this matter today? Because our world is more connected and more brittle than any civilization before it. Financial systems operate at digital speed. Information spreads faster than truth. Political tensions ripple globally in seconds. When systems are this tightly coupled, small fractures can cascade into systemic failure. History shows us that collapse rarely announces itself with a single explosion. It whispers. First, it signals through instability, polarization, and accelerating change. And long before modern economics or geopolitics existed, ancient observers believed they could recognize those warning rhythms. One of the most discussed prophetic frameworks appears in the book of Daniel, written in an age of empires rising and falling. It describes successive kingdoms, symbolized by metals, that weaken over time. Gold to iron, mixed with clay. In simple terms, the message is not mystical arithmetic, it's structural fragility. Strength, combined with power without cohesion. The imagery suggests a civilization that looks formidable, yet contains internal fractures that make it vulnerable to sudden collapse. A parallel vision emerges in the Book of Revelation, where layered symbols portray economic concentration, social upheaval, and systems so vast that their failure shakes the world. Even stripped of religious interpretation, the narrative reads like a study in interconnected collapse, commerce, authority, and trust unraveling together. The power of these texts lies not in predicting dates, but in identifying patterns, complexity rising faster than resilience. Now consider modern parallels. Our global economy depends on invisible architecture algorithms, supply chains, data networks, so intricate that few fully understand them. When disruptions occur, the effects propagate instantly. Financial shocks leap borders. Infrastructure failures ripple through digital systems. Political polarization erodes institutional trust. Sociologists describe this as systemic fragility. When efficiency outpaces redundancy, in other words, systems optimized for speed become vulnerable to shock. Here's where the pattern sharpens. Ancient, symbolic language described strength fused with instability. Today we see unprecedented technological power coexisting with social fragmentation. Information ecosystems amplify division faster than consensus. Economic networks generate immense wealth while concentrating risk. The appearance of stability masks underlying tension, iron mixed with clay. Strong, yet prone to fracture under pressure. The revelation moment isn't supernatural. It's structural. Collapse signals don't arrive as singular disasters. They appear as converging stresses. Institutional distrust, accelerated change, economic imbalance, and information overload. Each factor alone is survivable. Together, they form a feedback loop. The hidden insight is that collapse is rarely caused by one event. It's triggered when systems lose their capacity to absorb shock. When resilience falls behind complexity, tipping points emerge. So what does this mean for the future? Not that catastrophe is inevitable. History is not destiny. But patterns are warnings written in advance. Civilizations that recognized fragility adapted. Those that ignored it mistook momentum for permanence. The lesson embedded in both ancient symbolism and modern systems theory is the same. Stability is not the absence of stress, it is the presence of resilience. The real signal may not be dramatic headlines or visible crises. It may be normalization of instability, a world where volatility feels routine, where trust erodes quietly, where systems strained without immediate collapse until they suddenly do. The question becomes personal as much as global. Are we building resilience faster than complexity? Are we strengthening cohesion while accelerating change? History suggests that collapse is not a moment. It's a process. hidden in plain sight. A gradual crossing of thresholds. A civilization discovering that strength without unity is brittle. Power without adaptability is temporary, and signals ignored become turning points remembered. If the past is a guide, the sign that appears before global collapse is not a prophecy etched in stone. It's a pattern written in systems, behavior, and human nature. Recognizing it does not guarantee catastrophe. It offers something more valuable: awareness. And awareness is the difference between witnessing history and understanding the signal before it becomes irreversible. This is not a prediction. It's a transmission. The pattern has appeared before. The question is whether we see it now.